The South Korean investigators have called off their attempt to arrest the impeached President Yoon at his residence over a failed martial law bid, citing safety concerns after a standoff with his security team. The Corruption Investigation Office said in a statement that the execution was effectively impossible due to the ongoing standoff, as concerns for the safety of the personnel on site led to the decision to halt the arrest attempt. Earlier, the officials were let through heavy security barricades to enter into the residence to attempt to execute their warrant. But soldiers under the Presidential Security Service engaged in a confrontation with them. Previously, Yoon's security service blocked attempted police raids of the presidential office, and Monday is in fact the deadline for the warrant. The investigators have sought a warrant after the impeached president ignored 3 rounds of the summons for questioning. The Yoon's legal team has called the attempt to execute the arrest warrant to be illegal and invalid. During the arrest attempt, dozens of police buses and hundreds of uniformed police lined the streets outside of the presidential compound in central Seoul. About 2,700 police and 135 police buses were deployed to the area to prevent clashes after Yoon's supporters faced off with anti-Yoon demonstrators on Thursday. And some of his supporters, in fact, camped outside of his compound in the bitter cold, holding all-night prayer sessions. The South Korean media has reported that investigators wanted to take Yoon to their office for questioning after his arrest, and then he could of course been held for nearly about 48 hours on the existing warrant. Further, they need to apply for another arrest warrant to keep him in custody. Meanwhile, the prosecutors on Friday indicted 2 top military officials, the Army Chief of Staff General Park On-soo and also the Chief of the Army Special Warfare Command, Lieutenant General Kwok Jong-kyun, or their alleged roles in their short-lived imposition of martial law last month. Now, according to the prosecution, they were indicted under detention on charges of insurrection and abuse of power. On the 3rd of December, Park On-soo, who had served as martial law commander, had issued the martial law decree under his name, while Kwok Jong-kyun is accused of sending special operation forces to the National Assembly under orders from President Yoon to secure the building and to prevent the lawmakers from passing a motion to reject martial law. Now, according to the prosecutors, their actions had the intent to subvert the constitution, and this is amounted to charges of insurrection. The 2 officials were placed under arrest last month, and apart from them, several other North Korean officials have either stepped down or have faced the axe in the fallout of the failed martial law bid. Now, the list includes Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun, the Interior Minister Lee Song-min, Inspector General of the Ministry of Justice Ryu Hyuk, the Police Chief Cho Ji-ho, and also the Seoul's Metropolitan Police Chief Kim Bong-sik, amongst others. And for more on this, we earlier spoke with Voice of America's Bill Gallo, who is a correspondent for Voice of America from Seoul. Listen to what he had to say.
Well, Yoon's lawyers and Yoon himself reject the legitimacy of this investigation. They say that corruption officials, which are leading a joint investigation team of the government, do not have the authority to pursue insurrection charges, and they're pushing back as hard as they can. They're not cooperating at all with this investigation. Instead, they believe that this should play out at the Constitutional Court, where there is a separate process involving Yoon's impeachment playing out. Those hearings continue to be held, but we may not get a ruling from the Constitutional Court on whether that impeachment is upheld for several months. They have 180 days from a few weeks ago in order to issue that ruling. So really, there's 2 sort of separate processes playing out here. Neither one of them look all that great for Yoon at the moment, but I think it's safe to say that all the attention is focused right behind me on whether or not Yoon will become the first South Korean president to be arrested.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.